So on this video I want to talk more about the why and how the Paleo Autoimmune Protocol works so well, and I have the 4 main factors of the crucial things you need to get right if you want to get the results and the benefits from the Paleo AIP diet. I'll jump right into them because I have some notes that I want to make sure I get through. But the first factor of why and how is, sorry about the noise, nutrient density. And I know I mentioned that, and I probably will keep mentioning it because it's huge. So every system needs nutrients, right? And micronutrient deficiencies, this was pretty cool to hear again. Micronutrient deficiencies and imbalances are a factor in the development and progression of autoimmune diseases. This is from Sarah Ballantyne's book. I'll link to the resources because I think you need to get this book seriously. But that was cool to hear, like the development and progression of autoimmune disease. So there's Dr. Forget his first name, but Fasciano. I'll start with an A, I think. Oh my God, I've read so much from him. But yeah, he talks a lot about celiac, and he mentions kind of like the things that we need in order for the autoimmune to be triggered and started, kind of the things that we need when it comes to the environment and the body and this and that and the genes. So it's very interesting. The micronutrient deficiencies and imbalances are a factor in development and progression. And then what I also pulled out from the book is that nutrient-dense foods enable a synergistic, I love this, please remember this, a synergistic surplus of micronutrients to correct both deficiencies and imbalances. But I love the emphasis on synergistic surplus, because many of us take zinc and we take, I don't know, iron, and we take magnesium, and we take whatever you take. But we forget about the importance of the synergy within different nutrients, right? How this nutrient works well with this one and needs this one in order to whatever, right? So they're all so connected that sometimes by actually just taking one supplement or taking different ones, but in high, let's say I take zinc in a high dose, and I take calcium, and I take magnesium, and I take this, that dosage wouldn't be the same that you would get from foods, maybe, right? The ratios. So getting it from actual food and making sure that it's nutrient dense food, and I'll share more about how we can make sure we get that in another video. But that's huge. You're getting it the way your body wants it and needs it. You're getting it in the most bioavailable way, and I don't care how much bioavailability they tell you is in their supplements. It's not the same. Some things, yeah, we need to supplement, but it's not the same. So I love that emphasis on the synergistic surplus. I can't pronounce that well, I think. I don't know. Point number 2, gut health. This is from the book again. Gut dysbiosis and leaky gut are factors in the development of autoimmune conditions. So that's huge to remember, the gut dysbiosis and the leaky gut. Like I said, we can't just take away the inflammatory things and think it will be okay. We need to heal the gut. And I love what she said. Foods recommended on the AIP diet support the growth of healthy levels and a healthy variety of gut microorganisms. And for a while, I didn't know that, I didn't remember that, I didn't emphasize that. Not only having the right amount, but the right variety for us. And I'll definitely talk about, there's a channel that you have to follow if you have an autoimmune condition, I think called Real World AIP. I think it's just all one word. She made a video about even how like olive oil is so incredibly beneficial for a gut microbiome. It's actually like relatively new research that Sarah Ballantyne talked about in an event, so she kind of shared that news with us. That was pretty cool. So having the right amount and the right variety. And then also, like I've mentioned in other videos, foods that irritate or damage the lining are avoided, and then foods that help restore gut barrier function and promote healing are emphasized. Please, we need to remember that. We need to remember that. And one thing that's fascinating, that if you haven't seen the other video I mentioned, the lifestyle factors that influence gut barrier health, which is interesting, are also emphasized. So we need to remember about that gut barrier, that leaky gut, the intestinal hyperpermeability. We need to correct that if we want to heal. That's why I think people that just remove gluten and that's all they do, they continue to struggle for years and years and years, and they don't know why. And sometimes they do other things, but they don't realize there's like a hidden source of gluten or something else coming into their diet or lifestyle or something. There's so many stories of that. Maybe I'll share more about that in the future. But yeah, we need to heal that. We need to rebalance that and heal that. So the third one is hormone regulation. And I liked the way she wrote it. So this is from Sarah. She said, what we eat, when we eat, and how much we eat affect a variety of hormones that interact with the immune system. That was interesting. We know that, right? We know that intermittent fasting has benefits hormonally. And by the way, I'll talk about intermittent fasting and Paleo AIP in the future. But I mean, in general, that we know that intermittent fasting and fasting has beneficial changes in our hormonal system. And she said what we eat and when we eat, so, and how we eat, how much we eat. So obviously overeating, undereating is not beneficial, right? Not eating the foods that you need, eating a lot of what you don't really want in your body. So it's really balancing that, which I love how she put it, like, that will affect a variety of hormones that interact with the immune system. So just something to remember. I also wrote, when hormones are dysregulated, the immune system is directly affected. And the reason why I want to emphasize that is I think sometimes it's not easy to have a very holistic point of view and remember every single aspect. But if we can take a step back and realize, okay, it's not just about eating, right? More whatever you think, more avocados or more fruits or more leafy greens. It's not just about that. We need to remember about the hormonal system. We need to remember about sleep. We need to remember about activity. We need to remember about all those things that affect, something that affects any system in your body is going to affect every system in your body. I think that's beneficial to remember. Hormones are also affected by how much we sleep, how much time we spend outside. That's why I like to make videos outside whenever I can. How much and what kinds of activities we get, even though I make a lot of videos in my van, but that's just the way it works sometimes. So how much and what kinds of activities we get, and how well we reduce and manage stress. So that's all under the hormone regulation section in the book, but it's very beneficial to look at it that way, I think. And then immune system regulation, which I took out from the book, achieved by restoring a healthy diversity and a healthy amount of gut microorganisms. So I mentioned that before, so now you know how it also affects the immune system. Restoring the barrier function of the gut. The leaky gut, we need to heal that. We need to restore that. Otherwise the immune system is going to continue to be overactive for a long time. Providing the micronutrients required for the immune system to function properly. Micronutrients, that's point number one. Nutrient density, that's huge. That's what we need. It's not fun. We need things like liver. I can't stand, like, I can't, it's not a thing of like, oh, just man up and just eat the liver. Like, I really can't. I probably will throw it up if I eat liver by itself. And it's not about cooking it with garlic and whatever tips people like. That aftertaste, I just can't handle it right now at the moment. So we'll see over time, but I'm gonna share with you some recipes that I'm exploring, and amazing, like a pate kind of thing, and I actually use it as a dressing. So really cool, weird shit that I'm doing. It's incredible. So I'll share that with you in another video. And regulating the hormones that in turn regulate the immune system. So that's why the hormonal part of this healing journey is crucial, because it's so linked to the immune system. Like I always say it, everything's so linked. And then I like what she said, immune regulation combined with tissue healing is what provides the reduction in symptoms. That's interesting. That's an interesting food for thought little thing right there. But that's why what I'm going to keep emphasizing in my videos is how we need to do it in a holistic way. It's not just about what we eat, but like she said, about when we eat, how much we eat. And it's not just about food, it's also about sleep, stress, and lifestyle. So that's what I really want to emphasize, and I share this because it's also a reminder for myself. When I'm overtraining, when I'm working more than my body can handle on and what my body wants, it's a good reminder for me to, okay, slow down. You want to heal, you deserve to heal, you're ready to heal. All we need is a little more balance. So these are just reminders that I hope they help you. They're helping me. So that's why I want to share them with you. If you know someone that might benefit from this video, if you want to share it with them, that would be awesome. That would mean a lot. And I really hope that helps. If there's any question, you have anything I could help with, please leave it down below or reach out to me privately and I'll do my best to help you. So have a beautiful day.